Now that the seller has done the first 7 steps in selling a home, just how do they close on the home and transfer the ownership to the buyer? That's an excellent question. And guess what? That's today's topic, and we'll get to it right after this. Hi, I'm Bob Wybrick, a Missouri licensed realtor with Coldwell Realty Gundaker in St. Louis, Missouri. If you're interested in all things residential real estate, please subscribe and click that bell icon for insights and tips into the residential real estate market. I publish a new video every Wednesday, and you don't want to miss a thing. As a quick review, up to this point on selling a home, and I do deeply appreciate you staying with me on this explanation, we had step 1, hire a listing agent. Step 2, prepare the home for sale. Step 3, price the home for sale. Step 4, list the home for sale. Step 5, real estate offers and negotiations. Step 6, the title company. And step 7, the due diligence process. That brings us to step 8, the closing. Now that the purchase offer and all related documents have been signed, the occupancy permits are issued, and any agreed upon repairs have been completed, it's time for the closing and ownership transfer. For the seller, the closing process may be a bittersweet process. Transferring ownership of their beloved home may be a challenge with all the personal memories, family events that are being left behind. And now, they're looking forward to being positive and hopeful toward future adventures in their new home. Today I will be discussing the St. Louis real estate market and title companies instead of escrow companies and real estate attorneys. The listing agent in your area will clarify which will assist the seller with the closing in a local market. To begin with, what should the seller bring to the closing? They will need to bring 1. Identification documents, usually in the form of a government-issued photo identification or a driver's license. The closing agent will ask for it to make a copy for the closing file. 2. Any funds required for closing. Hopefully, you as the seller won't need to do this. This is only in the event there's a shortfall between the amount of the proceeds received from the sale and what is required to close. If required, this may be paid for in the form of a cashier's check or a wire transfer. Personal checks are not accepted at this time. The seller should be given a closing disclosure for the seller, which will show the payment required or the proceeds to be received 3 days prior to the closing date. 3. It is recommended that the seller leave anything the buyer may need in the kitchen of the house. That includes keys, garage door remotes, appliance and warranty manuals, copies of any repair warranties, etc. If anything is found after the seller leaves the home, bring it to the closing and ask the closing company or the agent to see that it gets to its new owner. 4. Electronic door locks. Leave the code for the door locks in a conspicuous place in the home and bring a copy to the closing table to give to your agent to pass along to the buyer if needed. Number 5, your checkbook. In the event there is a small item to be paid at closing, such as a misread utility meter or an error calculations. 6, your writing hand and your lucky pen. And 7, any additional documents the seller is asked to bring by the listing agent or the title company. So when should you close on a home? When is the best day to close on a house? There are many opinions on this. Some believe it to be a Tuesday, Wednesday, or a Thursday, and avoid Mondays and Fridays. So why is this? The reasoning behind this is that the third parties, such as the lender or the closing company personnel involved in the transaction, are more typically available on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to handle problems that arise, such as finding a small detail that needs to be resolved prior to closing, which may require a revised title or loan documents, or an explanation to be included in the closing documents. With Mondays and Fridays is not such a good idea for closing days, reason being is that behind the scenes personnel may have taken an extended weekend or be overloaded with details on Monday or Friday. Answers to the issues uncovered at the closing table may not be found quickly and cause a delay in closing. So what are the worst days to close on a house? Many feel the worst day to close on a house is on a Friday or a day before a holiday. Why is this? It seems like an ideal time because the buyers can move in over the weekend or the holiday. Fridays or a day before a holiday can be extremely busy times for title companies and lenders. If an error occurs or additional documentation is required, that may delay the closing. This means the closing will not occur until the next business day. This could be a disaster if the seller needs the proceeds to buy their new home. This is not a good place to be. What happens if the closing date on a house is delayed? Let's hope this doesn't happen. But one of several possibilities may happen, and it all depends on how the purchase offer was written. It could be as simple as extending the closing with an amendment, or either party could refuse to extend the closing and the whole deal may fall apart. To end this series, 8 Steps to Selling a Home, on a positive note, the closing is an exciting time. The seller can breathe a sigh of relief that it's over and be excited about moving on to the next big adventure in life. I hope you found this series, 8 Steps to Selling a Home, useful and informative. I would be happy to answer any questions that you have about moving or living in the St. Louis, Missouri area. Please feel free to download either of the guides that I have listed below. My next series is Downsizing Your Home in Your Future. That starts soon. Watch for it. Thanks for your attention and make it a great day.